Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is codyrios, and I am currently a senior here at ECU, and I am getting my bachelor's degree in industrial engineering technology. And today, for our project, I will be going over the dimensionless block diagram. Excuse the camera angle. I am not able to record and flip my camera. I have the S7, so it's a little old, so I have to flip it manually. But we're about to do that, and we're about to get into this real quick, and I'm going to explain it, and hopefully it's not that boring for y'all, okay? All right, well, here we go. All right, so for today, we will be doing the dimensionless block diagram. As you can see, I have a bunch of figures here. You don't really need to read anything. I want to explain everything pretty quickly, and hopefully y'all will be able to process it. So for the first thing I want to talk about is, what is it? What is a dimensionless block diagram? Well, if you look at the definition, it says it's basically a layout that has no dimensions, and it is the basis for the master layout and the plot plan. That's kind of confusing. I don't like the way that's worded, but simply, all it is, it's the first step an industrial engineer takes when developing a layout for a factory, right? And we just base it off of giving each department its own little area, and we assign its activity relationship with other areas. And the object is to eliminate backtracking and eliminate areas of flow that we don't need. You know, maybe we're running to one department here, and we're going to paint to do something, and we're running to the locker room, and we have to do this, and that's just wasteful. So we try to analyze it using this tool initially, and eventually it will actually become a layout for a full-fledged factory because of the work that we do here. So here's the first one. Here's the active relationship chart. This is the first step. Well, this is the second step. The first step is actually determining your departments, but this is the first step that we actually have to develop, right? So you see here we have a bunch of letters. All that is weights, and you see how you got a left side and a top right side. Right here you have fabrication and fabrication. This is grayed out because they can't have a relationship together because it's the same department. But fabrication and welding here have an A relationship, and you see fabrication and paint has the E relationship, et cetera, all the way down the line, right? And so we assign this as engineers. We develop this and we determine this ourselves. And then this moves on over here and basically gives it a weight, right? So A has a weight of 4, E has a weight of 3, I has a weight of 2, and then you have O that has a weight of 1, U that has a weight of 0, and X is -4. -4 is definitely bad. We do not want those. That's probably like an area like where we would have paint and cafeteria, or as you see here, receiving and shipping, which are on totally opposite sides. You don't want them close together because that's going to cause a lot of traffic and congestion problems when you're moving material and people and products. For the next thing here, this is basically the formula that we use to determine how many A's, EIOs, and U's we're going to use. As you can see, you have A's 5%, E's 10%, et cetera. And this is just to make sure that we have the right ratio of weightages. That way we're not leaning too much on A or leaning too much on E and then getting the flow analysis incorrectly. So we use a mathematical formula to determine that. For this part here, this is basically just put on paper. And shows you all the relationships visually, like A, E, I, O, U, X, etc. In this scenario, number 4 is going to be our big department where we have most of our flow. You can look through it and count them all up and add them up here, but really the easiest way to determine that is in this area. And you see how it says weightages right here. Excuse the clarity. Hold on. There we go. It says weightages is right here. Well, the biggest one here is 14, and this is determined mathematically based off of the numbers and the relationships. So definitely 14 has the highest, so it will go in the middle. And this is what it looks like. You have your blocks. This is the next step after we develop the worksheet. We have to determine based off A, E, I, O, and U, and we put them in the corners like this. So let's see here for A, you have 2 and 6 as an A relationship. If we go over to the next step, which is making each block individually and then merging them, you can see here for 4, we have 3 and 7. In the top left corner is an A relationship, and for 4 here, we have 3 and 7 as well. So, and you just go in here and do whatever every block you do that. And then, so the easiest way that the engineer does it is they put them together as such. I'm gonna start with 4, just because it's the biggest one. And I notice I have a 3 and a 7, right? So I want to have a 3 and 7 touching the 4. So I would probably go over here and make them touch right here, and then I'd move this one out of the way, and I'd probably put 7, right? So, oh, 7 has a relationship with 4. It's a relationship, right? We want all the good relationships to be right near each other. And then we just keep doing it. So this next one here is 4 and 8. So it's touching 4 already, but maybe it needs to touch 8, right? And then we just do this over and over again. And 7, maybe we need to bring 7 over here. And as you put it together, it'll start kind of like changing. It'll develop, and you'll have to move some things around to make it work. And then you end up with this. And each one of these is departments. So, if you imagine as a factory, this is one big giant building, and you have each factory. And this is, let's say this 5 is shipping. This is where product comes in, and then it goes into 6, which is the store, and that's where they store it. And then it goes over to 1, which is the fabrication, and that's where it begins to become fabricated, and it goes through the process. So this is basically the flow of the product. And the thing that you want is when you develop this, you want to make sure you have an efficient flow, and you don't have any areas where there's backtracking or inefficient flow of material or people. And that's pretty much it. This will eventually become, like I said, a actual plant. But I hope it makes sense, and y'all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day.